Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe where we help and heal one day at a time. We're going to talk about did they ever really, truly love us? The hardest part about the discard is looking back at everything we invested in and just to have some comfort that it wasn't all for nothing. We're going through all this pain, and I guess it's just a comfort to us. Like, we were loved, we were important, because that discard is often so cold and so harsh. And also everything we went through, the promises, the lies, the broken promises, that in the end, I think that's what we're searching for, is just some comfort to look back at. That was a beautiful time in my life. Granted, a lot of us wish it worked out different, or we've had enough of it. We're just trying to move on. But we just need that comfort, that closure. And it's real hard to have closure when you're like, I was just thrown out like garbage. There are breakups that happen, and you deal with it. People go their separate ways, but especially in these long-term relationships, that you want to feel that you were loved. So if you take away all the words that they used, because they gaslight us, they confuse us, and we can't find a truth in that because there was no truth in it. The future faking, everything we believed, we just need that comfort. So if you take away everything and just look at their actions, during the love bombing stage, they're trying to suck us in to keep us. We're an item to them. And then they start to devalue it, because over time, whatever you have that's a material good starts to be not as fancy, not as great, because there's always new things coming out that trumps the other ones, tops them. And to tell if they ever truly loved you, just look at the way the discard was, look at the way they followed through on things, look at the honesty that they gave us, just their actions. How much did they help, or how much did they demean us when we didn't meet their expectations? I used to get yelled at that I wiped down the counters too wet. Did they try to work through things? Did they go above and beyond? During the love bombing stage, a lot of times they do, and that's where we get confused. But to them, it's like a purchase where they invest and then they've paid the price for it. They don't need to keep investing in something they bought. They secured it. And so they just start to devalue it. Just look around your house. Look at all the clothes that you bought, all the items. I have books like crazy, videos that I've never even opened, read, watched, but I had to have it. I just had to have it. I spent a lot of money. And that's kind of what they feel, is like, I spent a lot of money, but I don't know, looking at my bookshelves, I'm not motivated to open one of them. Maybe eventually I'll kind of browse through it. And that's what they start to feel, is I already have it. It's like on my shelf. It's there. And when we start to get ready to leave, that's when they're like, oh, I guess I'll give you some attention, and they'll do the love bomb a little bit. But they get a little irritated with that. It's like they already purchased it. Like, I don't want to pay another dollar for these books or videos that really don't mean that much to me. I don't want to invest anymore. I just like having them, getting ready to move. I'm like, I don't know, do I throw them out, give them away? But they're mine. Like, that's how it is with a narcissist, is like a control thing, like a prize, a trophy that they don't want to get rid of. They kind of want to show it off, or just have it for when they need it. Kind of like proof they're important. If you came over to my house and I'm like, yeah, I was a superstar gymnast, and you're like, oh, prove it. And I'm like, I don't have the trophy to show you, but if I had that trophy, you'll believe me. And it's kind of the same with the narcissist. Like, they like the trophies on the shelf for when they want to show off their how important they are, how great they are. And to get that comfort, just look at, did they really love you, or are you that trophy that they'll just keep in that harem garage? Often they don't leave forever. They will hoover again, kind of like, I need to look at how great I am. I need to look at my trophy. But in the interim, have they returned your calls? Have they reached out to you? Have they just checked in on you? And that's the hardest part, is how how can somebody not love somebody that they've been with for so long? If you met up crossing paths in a grocery store, would they, if they were by themselves, would they even talk to you, or even like nod their head, or would they look at you dirty? Um, and I know that's not necessarily a comfort, but it's a, an, a means to an end. It's how we heal. That if we're ruminating over these people, some of us want them back. Some of them us just want to feel that love. In order to get the closure that we need, we're not going to get it from the narcissist. They don't want to accept responsibility. They don't feel responsible to comfort us, or to even say they're sorry. If they ever do, it's just to kind of shut us up. It's not heartfelt. And um, I just hope you guys heal. Comment below on some of the things that have helped you. Uh, I know sometimes distractions, getting on with your life, becoming more self-confident, or just, re-energize yourself. Don't get stuck in the depression part, and just take care of yourself. They're not going to take care of you. They're not going to comfort you. They're not going to help you. They're not going to talk through problems. If they do, it's not truly heartfelt. So it's not going to bring a change. If you guys are still in a relationship with a narcissist, um, if it's a romantic one, uh, really see what you need for your life. A lot of times, sometimes with religion, people stick through relationships because they made a vow to their God. But, in my opinion, and I am religious, I don't think God wants us to be in dangerous situations. So if you're committed to a physically abusive situation, maybe talk to your pastor, priest. I'm trying to remember. Sorry, I'm not Jewish. Oh, I know the name too. I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood. Talk to your higher up at your place of worship if you're religious, and really see, like, what should you do? I know a lot of times arranged marriages seem to work out better. There's a higher satisfaction rate. And some of it is like they just accept their roles, is how I take it. The man owns the wife. The woman understands that she's going to be owned, that she has duties. And that's kind of what a narcissistic relationship is. But they work out because those people accepted those roles. They're not always perfect marriages, but we didn't accept the role to be owned. And that's where the difference is we want something healthy. We don't want to be owned. We want to have our feelings. And we don't accept that. And I honestly don't think that we should accept it. But if you do continue on with a narcissistic relationship, you kind of have to be owned, just like in the arranged marriages, that you're going in accepting, this is my duties. I can't complain. I can't rock the boat because I'm stuck in this. And you're going to feel empty inside, because you didn't go into it with that mindset. And if you do try to change who you are to make it work, just like the narcissist, they're ingrained in the way they think and feel. Same with you. Can you really just say, okay, I want this to work because I love the person. So I'm going to pretend it's an arranged marriage. I'm going to pretend that I accept this role. But then you're pretending. And that's what the narcissist is doing, just pretending. So unless you grew up that way, or that was ingrained in you, like the societies with the arranged marriages, unless it's ingrained in you from when you're a small child, it's not going to feel real to you. So just remember where you grew up, who you are, stand true to who you are. The narcissist, the self-aware ones, even say how they struggle with things. They'll do things the right way, but if you and I were together and I said, oh, gotta freaking say I love you, I love you, oh, can't stand them. Like, does that touch your heart? You want the true, I love you and I mean it. I'm by your side. We're partners in life. Not we're coexisting, we're being polite and fake with each other. And unfortunately, narcissists are so fake that they don't know how to truly love, because their their need is all about them. The one that I was with, like, out and out admitted, they don't love the same way, um, that they don't feel the same way. They do get irritated because they can't empathize with the way they talk is hurtful. Um, they're very destructive because they don't take a step back. They're in that young stage or elementary, middle school age, uh, mentally, to where, you know, they get a kick out of things, even if it's subconscious. Like, I don't think these middle schoolers are out like, yeah, let's tease them because I have a need inside, I have a void. They just do it because they know that they get that stimulation out of making somebody cry, or knocking somebody down so they can be in more power. And also, some of you are like, how do they act certain ways where it's so negative? Aren't they embarrassed on how they act? It's just like the middle schoolers, they're not embarrassed, they're being seen. Others are watching them. Others are seeing that they're in power and they don't want to be knocked down. So they keep them on that pedestal, because they don't want to rock the boat and be the next one that's teased. So this person, the narcissist, always stays up here. And it's all fake. They're not good people. They get respect because they don't want to be because we don't want to be teased if we were in that middle school situation. And that's what they did to us, is they're the bully, and we're kind of laying low, doing what we need to do so we don't get bullied more. But if we stand up to them, that's when it all falls apart. Just like the bully would maybe start a fight or start doing smear campaigns on you to keep that control, to keep their status. And it's just something to think about. At this point, you know, um, they were attracted to you. If it was a physical relationship or a dating relationship, they saw something in you. And just take heart that, you were seen as somebody worthwhile. You're seen as somebody worthwhile. But once the boat got rocked, um, the love that we give overwhelms them. And the only way the relationship would have worked is if you didn't love them, you know? And it's kind of like just an arranged marriage. Is that what you want in your heart? Or did you want something true and real? So looking back on their actions, it's just like an infant. The infant's drawn to the mother. Um, they can recognize scents, they recognize voices. At that age, I don't know, do babies, they're attached. They are attached to the mother. But have they processed what love is? And that's something to think about. The narcissist is an infantile state, and they're attached, but they miss the attachment. But do they have that capability of loving? So comment below. Just take care of yourselves, and maybe you might want to check out my video on the 11 mental illnesses that can be caused by staying with a narcissist, because it can be pretty dangerous to stick it out. So did they love you? They were attached to you, and just take comfort in that. And please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.